By the end of today's episode, you'll know some of the best and most trustworthy acting agencies to go after. Welcome to the Actor's Career Compass, where we help aspiring screen actors find high-quality auditions, sign with great agents, and book major roles in legit productions. I'm your host, Martin Benson, and this is the final of 3 episodes where I've been outlining the top US and international agencies that actors should aim to get represented by. Some of these are for very established actors. In fact, most of them are. But there are a couple that are for relatively newer actors who are in the process of growing their careers. So continuing with it, the next agency on the list is CAA, which is Creative Artists Agency. They are a very large agency. They are not openly accepting submissions, and they typically sign actors by referral only. This is one of the largest and most prestigious agencies in the world. They offer film, TV, theater, commercial, music, sports, digital media, marketing, and a lot more. And they've represented actors like Melissa McCarthy, Aaron Rodgers, Emma Watson, Cate Blanchett, Julia Roberts, and the list goes on and on. They represent actors throughout the entire world, and they have offices all across the United States, Europe, and even Asia. So my take, CAA does not accept outside submissions, and it primarily represents really well-known actors. So I only recommend pursuing them once you've worked with at least 2 to 3 smaller agencies that I've outlined here or other ones that are not on this list, and really built up your resume and reel significantly. Like, you have to be booking pretty consistent, let's say, recurring roles and guest star roles before you should even consider reaching out to an agency like that. Next agency on the list is WME, which is William Morris Endeavor. They're also an extremely large agency that's not openly accepting submissions. They do take actors by referral, and this is also one of the largest and most prestigious agencies in the world. They do film, TV, theater, commercial, music, sports, digital media, marketing, and a lot more. And they've represented actors like Ben Affleck, Jessica Alba, Christian Bale, Matt Damon, Jennifer Garner, even Whoopi Goldberg. And similar to CAA, they also have offices all over the world in US, Europe, Asia, pretty much everywhere. My take is that WME does not really accept outside submissions as well, and because it also represents extremely well-known actors, I only recommend pursuing them after you've become much more established in your career. Next one is United Talent Agency. This is another very large agency that's not openly accepting submissions, but does take referrals. And again, film, TV, theater, commercial, music, sports, marketing, more. Authors, right? These agencies represent everything. They've represented Johnny Depp, Angelina Jolie, Harrison Ford, Owen Wilson, Gwyneth Paltrow, Channing Tatum, right? Again, offices all across the world. And similarly, I don't recommend looking for this agency as one to pursue unless you've really built up your credits list and you've got a long resume, long IMDb, and all of that, right? So if you've worked with at least like 3 or 4 other agencies, sure. Another one, ICM Partners, okay? Another very large agency that only takes referrals and represents actors in a wide array of different areas. They've represented Jodie Foster, Robert Duvall, Al Pacino, Christopher Walken, right? So again, they have offices throughout the world, primarily US and in London. But just like with all of these, you don't want to reach out to any of these agencies until you've really built things up in your acting career and you're feeling fairly successful. But the thing to keep in mind is a lot of actors don't ever reach out to these agencies. They don't even try, and they don't try to get a referral. It is possible. So even though I've just kind of outlined in this episode a few agencies that are like beyond anything that you could think to aim for if you're at the beginning of your career. Don't get to the point, and I've seen actors who've done this, actors who have a long list of credits, but they still don't know if they're ready for it. They might be, and they should be consistently looking for bigger and bigger agencies that can get them into those much bigger roles. So don't knock it off your list completely. Write it down and come back to it in a few years from now, and maybe you'll be ready for it, okay? Remember, again, I've said this in the last few episodes, and I'm just going to remind you. If you're looking for a legitimate non-scammer agent, which obviously you should be, right? You should ideally be aiming for an agency that is SAG franchised, and they should not charge any fees, because agents should only take a percentage of commission on the work that they get for you. Thanks for listening. Now, if you want to dive even deeper on specifically getting agents, I highly recommend checking out my podcast called How to Know If Your Acting is Really Good Enough for Agents and Bigger Auditions. And that's episode number 84. I outline a system that you can use to judge your own acting ability and make sure that you're ready for representation and larger roles. Again, it's episode number 84, How to Know If Your Acting is Really Good Enough for Agents and Bigger Auditions. It's on the Actor's Career Compass. Lastly, if you're interested in working with me one-on-one, you can learn more about how that works on my website, martinbenson.com. I'd love to speak with you and see if you'd be a good fit for the coaching program. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon.